Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day, wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to another news episode for you guys this evening. Hopefully, we go tonight with no problems whatsoever. Of course, I've checked before the stream, and everything should be a-okay anyway. But hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic Saturday, wherever you are around the world, of course. And hopefully, we'll dive into some very interesting news. Of course, obviously, the breaking news that has happened in the last hour, of course, obviously concerning Jordan Henderson, obviously completing his medical for his Saudi Arabia move. Of course, we will be discussing that in, of course, tonight's episode. We'll also be discussing Jurgen Klopp's interview. Of course, if you guys have not seen it yet, of course, it is free on Liverpool's YouTube channel to go over and watch. Of course, obviously, the boss did sit down, I think it was for half an hour conversation, of course, speaking about last season and, of course, a bit more into this season, of course, to go and check that out. And of course, we're going to also be discussing Dominik Szoboszlai. Of course, there's obviously suggestions out there that he's picked up a ankle injury, which of course we'll be discussing that in tonight's episode for you guys, of course. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments on everything that we do mention in tonight's show. Hopefully, everything is going a-okay, and it's not going to be like what happened last night. And yeah, if you were here last night for the stream, of course it wasn't. I decided to delete it because yeah, it was an absolute mess towards the end. Anyway, but again, hopefully everyone's having a fantastic day. Anyway, of course, and yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. But what do we have? I'll check back again in another 5 minutes. Thank you, Bry, for that. Anyway, of course, comment. I did see that and I thought, Jesus Christ, I hate you, Bry. Hit the likes button. People, please, walk alone as well. Yeah, if you could, very much appreciate it. Good evening to you as well. I'll hopefully doing well, mate. Any news on any transfers? None as of incomings. There's none at the present moment in time, but of course, outgoings. It does look like we do have one or two that is going to be happening. Of course, in the next couple of days. And oh, hello, says Bry as well. Yeah, Bry, hello. I am live, you fool. Anyway, of course, do let me, Bry. But hopefully everyone's doing well in the comments. Anyway, but of course, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, we are going to be talking about Jordan Henderson. Of course, obviously. Obviously, the news coming out obviously in the last hour, of course. But just to go in detail, of course, obviously David Kopp, who has been obviously the major factor in the news concerning the Jordan Henderson situation, of course, tweeted out last night saying that Jordan Henderson is set to have his Al-Ettifaq medical in the next 48 hours. And of course, in the last hour, James Pearce has tweeted out saying Jordan Henderson underwent his medical in Manchester yesterday, 12 million deal now close to completion. Now, of course, as far as we know, as of things right now, of course, the deal isn't done just yet. Even though the medical has been completed by Jordan Henderson, that side of things are done. The only things, I think, as James Pearce said in that article for The Athletic, turned around and said that, again, that Liverpool would, the only thing that is now standing in the way of the deal is, of course, Liverpool signing documents and this, that, and the other. It's the thing, though, as well, where you do look at it and it's like, again, I think tomorrow there's an election day for the club as well, so that again, that won't be getting done tomorrow, so you most likely know the Jordan Henderson announcement will be on Monday, the earliest date I think possible that the deal will get done. And look, again, obviously, with the Hendo stuff, 12 million pounds with add-ons, of course. I think, look, it's a very much a good deal all round. I think it was the right deal to do in the end. I know a couple of people have said, well, Liverpool should have stood for the 20 million up front, but then again, also saying that, like, as the running joke has said, again, we will probably pick the poorest Saudi club to go into business with. But of course, as you can see by that image, but there, of course, Steven Gerrard getting his man and getting of course Jordan Henderson in, of course, which, look, obviously it's going to make Jordan Henderson's family financially stable, and of course we know all of the things, of course, concerning, of course, around the situation and around the Jordan Henderson story, of course, obviously with LGBTQ and this, that, and the other. I know that a lot of people have questions, certainly for Jordan Henderson in that regard, as well, of course. But I think, look, in terms of just purely on a football basis of things, of course, again, Jordan Henderson and Steven Gerrard, they have a strong, close relationship. Again, Steven Gerrard automatically wanted Hendo straight away, and again, financially, it will make Jordan Henderson's family, again, secured for the next generations and so on. So again, I think on a football terms, though, I think it was the right time to go for Jordan Henderson. But again, not to be an absolute servant, like I've said plenty of times and in plenty of videos. For me, he's been my captain growing up as an adult, and again, like absolute legend for the football club. Even though if you listen to Twitter, he's not. But for me, Jordan Henderson is without a shadow of a doubt a Liverpool captain, Liverpool legend. Sorry. Anyway, of course, sorry, I'm just moving my mug out of the way. But no, again though, let me know your guys' thoughts on the Hendo stuff. I think again though, you're not going to hear anything now in terms of it being done deal, him holding up the shirt officially instead of me doing the cut out for Steven Gerrard and Jordan Henderson. Again, it would probably be most likely Monday. I would say that the deal might get done, but then again, of course, it might get done tomorrow night as well. But I think Monday will be the day that they do finally announce that Jordan Henderson has left the club or joined Al-Ettifaq, of course. But let me know your guys' thoughts on the Hendo situation as well. Let me quickly get back into the comments. Where we buy? That jersey is horrible. Yeah, triple handed. It isn't the best, is it? Mary Singh, what's up with Szoboszlai? Of course, yeah, we'll talk about that in a brief moment, of course. But just get Lavia deal done and turn him into a beast in the DM. One DM is better than no DM. True, absolutely, mate. Again, I think it's very much the fact that Liverpool are just waiting for Fabinho, sorry, and Jordan Henderson to get done, and then I think they'll push on. Of course, we'll talk about what Klopp said in that podcast as well, which of course again strongly recommend everyone to go and watch as well. I would say personally anyway, but I think Henderson gets a solid gold horse just for passing the medical as well. To be fair, I think Jordan Henderson could do about 3 medicals and still be perfect on every single one, to be fair. Bry as well. But any news on Liverpool links with Kimmich? Kimmich and Thiago will be boss. I put again nothing on Kimmich. I don't think Liverpool go after Kimmich. I think you're looking again premium price and like we was going to say yesterday as well. For me, Kimmich isn't my cup of tea personally for Liverpool. But again, there's no real news on that. I think you're looking probably 85, 90 million for Kimmich if they was to let him go. I'd be surprised if it was anything less than that, to be fair. But who knows? Anyway, but Colin says, who do you think will replace Jordan Henderson? I haven't got the faintest idea. I'm not going to lie, Colin. I think it's interesting how Liverpool go about the DM business. I think personally, if Liverpool can do one or two things. Of course, I do think Liverpool will get 2 people in the door if Jordan Henderson and Fabinho goes. I don't think Liverpool could just go, okay, we're just going to bring in one specific player. I think very much so Liverpool do very much have to buy a solo number 6 and somebody that can play as a 6 and an 8. Again, not to say we are going after Tchouaméni, but Tchouaméni could play as a 6 or an 8. I think that's the same profile we want. But in also saying that, we also need somebody who's a specialist 6, which again, you look on the transfer market, there isn't very many players like that. Like again, we was going to discuss about Lavia tonight, but again, there's not really, it's not really anything on that apart from, a few Southampton reporters saying that again, the Lavia situation will become a lot clearer in the next couple of days. Which again, whether or not that means now with Fabinho and Jordan Henderson moving on, maybe Liverpool might start bidding now for Lavia, which I think again that puts a big question mark on that situation. I think if Fabinho stayed, I think Liverpool would have 100% gone after Lavia, and then it would have been I think Lavia would have been the understudy for Fabinho, and then working up like that. But I just think that there's probably people on the market that haven't been linked, or again, Liverpool are obviously going to keep their number one target very quiet in that regard, and I think again that's always been the Liverpool way. We know that for a fact. But I do think that there is someone out there that hasn't got linked, and Liverpool are 100% going for. Again, like a Florentino Luis, but of course, people's release clause and this, that, and the other. But I also do think Liverpool need an 8, and again, who is that player? The Liverpool go back into Thuram and this, that, and the other. Again, he asked the questions, for so many other things. I do think though Liverpool need a specialist number 6, and then somebody who can play as a 6 and an 8, similar to Jordan Henderson. In that regard, anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Anyway, but who do I think will replace Henderson? I have a famous idea. I'm not going to Colin. I wouldn't want to say anyone. I think to replace Fabinho, again, Florentino Luis for me would be the guy. For Henderson, it's a very, like I said, specific profile you're looking for. You're looking for 6 and 8. So again, who could play that role? Who knows? But Henderson is a one-off, probably the least natural gifted of all typical legend types. His strength was always mental. That's why some people are a bit reluctant to call him that. For me, he's a legend, without a shadow of a doubt. Again, you are right, though, Bright, in terms of, again, when you talk about technical ability of a footballer, Jordan Henderson, of course, isn't high on that list. But when you talk about hard work, determination, and not giving up, I think Jordan Henderson is the prime example for that. Again, you look at his early career, was told he wasn't good enough for Liverpool. Was told that you're going to be part of a swap deal for Clint Dempsey. For Fulham, of course, Brendan Rodgers, Liverpool for that. Of course, said no, become Liverpool captain. And obviously, whoever took over Steven Gerrard as captain was going to have it hard. And Jordan Henderson, some people might disagree with what I'm going to say, but I think Jordan Henderson's been a better captain than Steven Gerrard. Again, not player-wise, and I'm not saying, again, Jordan Henderson's a better player, but I think in terms of, if you're talking about captaincy and a captain, I think Jordan Henderson, for me, is probably above Steven Gerrard in that regard. Again, Steven, if you want a player to drag you through a game and to follow, again, that's Steven Gerrard. But I think, again, off the field, on the field, I think everything around the club, Jordan Henderson's been an example in everything. And again, I might be in the minority with that, but I feel like Jordan Henderson is up there 100% for Liverpool. And again, look, he's been my captain growing up as an adult, and he's been my captain and a key player for Liverpool in Champions League, Premier League, key moments for Liverpool Football Club's history, and in the modern history as well. Like, again, 1920 Jordan Henderson was unbelievable. Again, not technically brilliant, not again flashy in that sense, but Liverpool without Jordan Henderson that season don't win the league. Simple as. That's it. And that's probably mad for me to say, but it's also true. You look at 13-14, Jordan Henderson got sent off. He's probably the reason why we didn't win the league, because again the structure changed because Jordan Henderson's not there. Of course, not putting the pure blame on him, of course. But you look at the system, how it was. Jordan Henderson was the start for that as well. But again, I think obviously if you go on Twitter, people, morons go on about, oh, Henderson's this, Henderson's that. For me, look, Henderson's a club legend. He's an absolute Liverpool legend through and through. I won't have it any other way, personally anyway. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway in the comments down below. What else do we have? Henderson, our captain. We wish him well and all the best. I will be missed, but we will be fine as well. Yeah, I would agree with that as well, absolutely. Plus, it's Liverpool. We have had solid. We've been spoiled with lots of incredible footballers who also won big trophies as well. Yeah, absolutely agree with you on that, Bray. Mac is in saying Luis Alvarez, Sousa. Yeah, Locatelli's a weird one. I've seen him linked a couple of times, as well as Angara as well, just to name a few. Yeah, again, the DM market is there. It's just the value of the DM market right now is ridiculous because, again, you've got Enzo Fernandez going for 105, Declan Rice going for 105, or plus 100 mil, Saicedo plus 100 mil. And again, every single team's like, well, if they're going for 100 mil, how much can we put our players up there, just off the £100 million mark in that regard? Again, I think that's ridiculous, though. I think, though, as well. Because, speaking of Lavia as well, of course, we know that Thomas Partey's going to be staying at Arsenal now, which, very much closes the door for Lavia to go to Arsenal now, I would say. So again, when we talk about competition for Lavia, probably Chelsea now are the only ones that could do it because, again, we know that Chelsea have been, of course, focusing massively on Saicedo, but I think everyone has the feeling, or will have the feeling, of if they can't get Saicedo done, then they'll go after Lavia. I think that's what Liverpool are thinking as well. Of potentially Chelsea are their nearest rivals in that regard. But again, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? To be fair, but we have plenty of players out there as well. Yeah, absolutely, 100% agree on that as well, mate. Obviously, Mac as well. How can we let Gvardiol join City? We should be all over him. He's not going to City now. I don't think, mate. I think he's very much. Obviously, the deal can't get done because City are way off the valuation and they don't want to sell. And apparently, Szoboszlai has stopped that deal from happening, which is good in that regard if it is true. But again, who knows in that regard anyway. But Thuram can play both. Makes sense. 35 to 40 million cheaper than Lavia as well. Yeah, true. I think though, again, Thuram is one of those ones where you look at it, can play as a 6, can play as an 8 as well. Would make sense. But then I think Liverpool will buy a DM first before they look at the Henderson type replacement. Personally, anyway, I would think that, to be fair. But I hope FSG don't come with a wait and see approach and wait until January to act. We can't make that mistake. Yeah, no, we can't. I think, again, Jurgen said it earlier on, Liverpool won't be making that mistake. I don't think again this summer anyway. But there's no chance we replace Fabinho with a 19-year-old. Even if Lavia joins, we will get more experienced DM. I would agree with that as well. I do think if Liverpool feel comfortable enough with not having more backup on their right hand side, I think Liverpool will just sign Lavia and a DM and an experienced DM. I think maybe, and then I think it gives you the option then of if Liverpool don't feel like Lavia can be a solo number 6, he can definitely play as potentially a double pivot in midfield. So you have him as a deep defending 8, if that makes sense, potentially, but who knows. I'm surprised that we haven't been linked with, like I say, from Juventus. There is a player there, Klopp can get the best out of him. Colin, Arthur Melo, that's all I'm going to say. We don't have good history with Juventus players. And yeah, Arthur Melo, that's the only thing I'm going to say. The only question would be if Henderson isn't at the club when Klopp joins, do we still have the same level of success? Impossible to say, but I would say more than likely yes. Other players would be in. The only question would be if Henderson isn't at the club when Klopp joins, would you still have the same? Probably no. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I'd say no, because I think Jordan Henderson was a massive factor in because again, Klopp changed Jordan Henderson for the better in terms of, again, what he brought to the team, what Klopp wanted him from the team. Because again, Klopp mentioned it. Henderson was playing number 6 for 2-3 seasons before we signed Fabinho, and and Klopp said, again, Jordan Henderson, he's a decent 6, but we all know he's not a 6. He's a number 8 playing a 6. And we got to a Champions League final with Jordan Henderson playing as a 6 as well, and realistically should have won it as well. To be fair, but yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one, Bry, to answer, but let us know, chat, on Bry's comment. Henderson will hopefully be remembered for everything he did on and especially off the pitch as well. Yeah, absolutely, mate, 1000%. Hijacking kudos, Chelsea from Arsenal. Yeah, again, I think he'd be a good player. I think Brighton would link with him as well. I think a couple of weeks ago as well. I personally like to see him at Brighton more than I would Arsenal or Chelsea. Don't be surprised if we get 4. Klopp knows what we need far better than us as well. Yeah, absolutely. Again, we'll get on and talk about what Jurgen said. Obviously, calling off Mello. Yeah, don't mention Juventus midfielders and Liverpool Football Club anyway. But we are going to move on. We're going to talk, of course, about Jordan Henderson, about Jurgen Klopp, and of course, is obviously the interview on, of course, the official podcast for the Liverpool YouTube channel. Of course, this is what he talked about in terms of transfers. Of course, Klopp on new signings. We're around 3 to 4 weeks until the first game. A few things have to happen until then. Definitely, it will happen, and we will have a good team. Trust us. We'll do our best to have a season we will never forget. And of course, I think to be fair, if you watch the interview, and of course he speaks about last season, speaks about the disappointment of again what happened throughout the season, and of course what Liverpool, again, what things wasn't happening. Of course, he could see things wasn't happening, but it was frustrating because you couldn't fix them, because of course when Liverpool had their their really bad period, of course we had a game every single, I think, like 2 days, 3 days, of course. But like I think, as Jurgen said in the podcast, he's already seen things in training that reminds him of what Liverpool was before last season, which I think is massively encouraging. And just the whole interview itself was a very uplifting sense of what this season's going to be. Like, Liverpool knew, and Jurgen knew, how much of a disappointing year it was last year, and I think that's the thing where Liverpool, it was probably a season that we needed as well. And again, I don't want to say that, but it probably was a season that we needed to kind of reflect on the whole squad and the way things were going with this Liverpool team. And as Jurgen said in that interview as well, it wasn't the best year, but it was a year of learning for Liverpool. And again, I think when you do look at it, obviously we managed to fix a few things towards the back end of the season as well, which was encouraging. But also where certain things wasn't happening our way, hopefully we've been able to fix that. Of course, he spoke about obviously Dominik Szoboszlai and spoke about Alexis McAllister as well, in what they've done to what the early signs of them coming in has done to the squads and so on as well. I think overall, just judging from that Jurgen Klopp interview, I think it'll take your expectations for the season to a million miles better than what what people think it's going to be. And I think this season's going to be amazing for Liverpool, or to really think it's going to be amazing. And of course, we just have to wait and see. With hopefully new signings, of course, as Jurgen mentioned. But I think if you go and watch that interview, it's so positive, man. And again, Jurgen looks like he's got that fight back. I would say, anyway, for the new season. Anyway, apologies if I am lagging. Of course, obviously, again, the internet says I'm fine, but StreamYard doesn't want to work. As well, so apologies anyway if I am a bit laggy or a bit blurry. Anyway, of course, apologies for that. But Maxine, love your stream, but please do not compare Mello with Locatelli. Again, I haven't seen much of Locatelli, but again, I don't have much. Liverpool haven't had much luck with Juventus midfielders. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Anyway, but plenty of good Italian players that have played over the years. Unfortunately, not for us as well. Yeah, true. again, Aquilani being one of them. As Jurgen says, it's a season we'll never forget. What is our expectations this season for our club? Mine would be top 4 finish and at least one trophy. For me, it would be Europa League final or Europa League at least, and top 4. Again, if we can go on a challenge, if we can fight Manchester City back at the top, that would be amazing. But I do also think that, again, Europa League final, Liverpool should at least get to. I'd be disappointed if Liverpool didn't get to a European final. Again, but yeah, that would be the one for me, personally. But there was no plan to lose Fabinho and Henderson. They will be replaced, but it can't be done overnight now. They need to move fast, but fans should be patient too. Deals are not always easy as pay up. Sorry. Yeah, no, exactly. Right. For me, it's very much the sense of, again, Liverpool have delayed the Fabinho deal, so to me, it's like Liverpool are getting things into motion now. So Fabinho goes, and then the next couple of days we find out that Liverpool are going to be signing someone. That's what I'm hoping, anyway. But we've been down this road before, haven't we? To be fair, but speaking of that interview, Jurgen did casually say when the new players come in, made it sound like he expects signings as well. Yeah, no, that is true. Scouse. For me again, it's he sounded really positive on it, which again, Jurgen sounds positive on anything. To be fair, but yeah, it did sound interesting, didn't it? For me, I think lucky. I think Liverpool do fully expect players to come in the door and to straight away, once Fabinho and the Henderson situation's done with, yeah, I think then the players will come in and then we'll find out what is happening. This for this season anyway. But yeah, it will be interesting. Get ready for City to have a treble hangover and lose key players. We have a massive chance if they start cold as well. Yeah, I think if we're in the same position as what Arsenal was last season, I think Liverpool win the league. But again, people go, oh, and especially Arsenal fans go, oh, well, Liverpool do this, and that, and I'm like, yeah, but if Liverpool are in that position, Liverpool don't lose that position either. Like, we've been there, we've done it. Again, I think Arsenal season is probably out of all the Premier League, I think it's the most intriguing because, again, they spent the most in the last 6 years. They've got the highest squad valuation now in Europe, not only the Premier League, in Europe. And you do just look at it, and I'm like, if they don't win a trophy or don't at least challenge for the league next season, who gets called into firing? Do you fire Edu? Do you fire Arteta? Again, probably a bit harsh saying that because, of course, it is a youngish team, but even still, I think that Liverpool, if it was on the other shoes on the other foot, I think, again, Liverpool get criticised for not doing that. We have criticised for not doing that. So, again, I think it is pretty much, someone does have to say something about Arsenal anyway. But Kevin De Bruyne is physically done. Well, if the rumours are true that towards the back end of last season, where he had, was it 20? Oh, not 23. Jesus Christ, but 12 needles in his foot and ankle towards the back end of last season. Like that's ridiculous. That is, if that is true. Anyway, but yeah, it would be interesting to know, of course. But the only thing that concerns me with with Hendo leaving, along with Fabinho, Bobby Milner, is the experience we're losing. So with the new players, it could take time to understand the Liverpool way as well. Yeah, that's the other thing. I do think though, especially with Alexis McAllister, I do think him in particular, he'll be fine. Again, World Cup winner. I think he'll be fine. I think with Szoboszlai, of course, we'll get on to Szoboszlai in a moment, but I think with him as well, also he'll have plenty of experience, obviously with Leipzig and Salzburg, and even Hungary as well, of course, being the captain for Hungary. Obviously, you need to be, big in certain moments as well. So of course, it takes into consideration in that regard as well. So again, it will be interesting to see anyway. But F Arsenal and their weird fans as well. Yeah, absolutely, Bright. I apologising. To be fair, Arsenal fans do my head in sometimes. But again, I wanted Arsenal to win the league last season, but even when you got some of them going like, oh, we were on top for so long, how can people say that we flopped the season and that? Like again, when you're where were they? They were like 9 points clear, or 8 points clear, something like that. And again, they've bantered us for years for when we missed the league out by a point and so on as well. So again, it's funny in that regard. But yeah, thank you, Hela, as well, saying the Athletic. Henderson did his medical Friday in Manchester before his transfer to Al-Ettifaq. He is now waiting on the paperwork to get the deal done. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. Hello, Carl. Hope you're doing well, mate. Maxine Klopp did say in the podcast that the door is open for the younger players, and they shouldn't always expect to be second choice. Could be Jones and Elliott. He was on about. I think, yeah, Jones and Elliott are, the third or fourth choice midfielder, or even, I think Curtis Jones is ahead of Harvey Elliott now in terms of pecking order, I would say. Again, Liverpool's, the two eights are McAllister and Szoboszlai. They are the two that's, most likely going to start the season. But also Curtis Jones, I think, does put his name in that bracket of that left side centre mid position. But yeah, no, I think them two take the opportunity absolutely 100%. And they'll take it and absolutely run away with it, hopefully. If you look at the impact Casemiro had at United, I'm concerned Tonali and Rice could elevate Newcastle and Arsenal, potentially. Again, though, I wouldn't say, to be fair, Scouts, I wouldn't say with that. I think if Liverpool have a normal season, and I think if Spurs or Chelsea had a normal season, I don't think United get top four. I really don't. You look at United sometimes, you look at the way they play, they're awful at times. Again, DM position wise, yeah, Casemiro took them up a level, but I don't know. I might be in the minority saying this. I think if we had a tidy season, if we had if we were normal, like we normally are, Chelsea were normal, if anyone else was normal, I don't think United finished top four. I really don't. Again, they were shocking at times last season, and got a bit lucky as well, to be fair. But Bright, yes, it's the same very year with our youngsters from pre-season, but with Elliott, Jones, Bajcetic, they at least have a different status as well. Yeah, absolutely. They love a conspiracy theory. What's that? Arsenal fans wanted the rebuild to take 3 years, slowly bringing in players and selling players. Not in 10 weeks, says Cal. Yeah, again, though, Liverpool are just like, you want a midfield rebuild? Sam, we'll give it to you in one summer. Happy days in that regard as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting, of course. But yeah, forgot any kids that isn't first team squad already, as well, says Bry. Looks like we are sticking with the high line if you go by our last game as well. Yeah, I think that'll be again, you listen to Klopp, again, he wants us to be a possession-based team, counter-pressing, and so on. Like, again, he wants Liverpool to be back to that team of where people look, oh Christ, we've got Liverpool next. Like, that's what he wants Liverpool to be like, which hopefully will be now, well, hopefully next season now as well. But no, give the kids a chance, I say, as well, says Mac. I think Bajcetic, Jones, and Elliott, they'll be given a chance next season. I think more so Bajcetic will be massively rotated, I think, next season. Because when he came in, he was massively impressive. And the only thing that was the problem with Stefan Bajcetic was the fact that Liverpool ran him into the ground. And realistically, we should never have done that. We should never ever have done that. But again, we had no options at the time. I'd go for Amrabat for 2 years, as well, says Bry. Again, interesting one, isn't it? But yeah, it would be interesting. Who would you realistically sign next? I've said it. If Liverpool want a like-for-like replacement for Fabinho, go and sign Florentino Luis from Benfica. Go and slap 60 million or 65 million. I think that would be enough to go and get him, and go and get him. I think again, I'd love us to go and get Caicedo. I would. I'd absolutely love Liverpool to go and get Moises Caicedo. But again, £100 million. Are Liverpool going to go and do that? No. I wouldn't say that anyway. To be fair, I've just seen Ant's comment. Let me quickly look. What else we could do? Yeah, I've just seen that. Thank you to Ant in the comments. I will quickly get that up if it will let me, guys. Again, apologies if I am a bit lagging with the stream. Again, something wrong with StreamYard and me. I don't know why. In that regard, hopefully it will get sorted. Hopefully I can sort it as well. Maybe I have to do something and so on as well. But let me just quickly get Fabrizio Romano's tweet up for you guys. Obviously, as the boys like to say, of course, the Welsh corner line of Welsh Fabrizio Romano anyway. But let me quickly get. Did you get a lot of ads? Sorry. Again, I do put skippable ads on the channel, so again, I don't know why. Again, there's loads of ads, but apologies, guys. Anyway, but as you can see for there, anyway, of course, going a bit backwards with the Jordan Henderson stuff. There we go. Thank you, Ant, for that. Anyway, for popping in. Of course, but as you can see for there. Fabrizio Romano, Jordan Henderson has completed the first part of his medical test as new Al-Ettifaq player on Friday. Second part wasn't today, but very soon. Deal to be signed next week for 12 million plus add-ons fees to Liverpool. 3-year contract agreed 2 weeks ago. Here we go, confirmed as well. So again, hopefully, of course, we'll have official confirmation from Liverpool next week on that as well. But of course, it is, from Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. Anyway, so of course, again, I've already mentioned it in terms of Jordan Henderson and of course what it means for Liverpool. But yeah, again, massive news in that regard as well. But at least we won't be on an average oldest team in the league now as well. To be fair, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, thank you, Ant, for commenting. Of course, Fabrizio's tweet. The DM market is less than 70 to 80. It's basically nothing. Amrabat is 14 is a solid option in my opinion. Yeah. Again, he is a decent option. I just don't think he's. I don't think he's there. Again, I said it yesterday. 6 months ago, I would have said yes because how bad Liverpool were. I think the options that are on the market, I don't think he's. I don't think Amrabat is the one for us personally. I would say anyway. But again, like if Jurgen Klopp went right, Sofiane Amrabat is my guy. I want to go for him. Then sound, absolutely sound. Whereas again, trusting Jurgen Klopp as well. But 12 years of service seems sad where he's going as well. Yeah, true. I would agree in that regards as well. What about Barella? No, Barella won't. Barella won't be coming anywhere near Liverpool, unfortunately, Carl. Good grief, lads. Well, to be fair, yeah, they are unskippable, and they aren't. Again, you shouldn't have any in the stream neither. Again, if YouTube has done that, then again, I apologize. If ads do pop up in the stream, I don't put them on. So again, apologies if anyone does have ads. Anyway, but both him and Fab gone next week. Hope then news on arrivals as well. Yeah, we will absolutely get news on arrivals, and absolutely 100%. It's shaping up to be a sexy summer, says Vaz. Don't bring us down, FSG as well. Yeah, no, I would agree. Potentially Liverpool could sign another 3 players this summer. That would be naughty. That would be very naughty if Liverpool could do that. But to be fair, though, it does also depend on what we want to do. Because Liverpool could very much go, right, we're going to go and sign two centre mids, wait next year for Levi Colwell, maybe. I don't think we should. I think Liverpool should sign a left-sided centre half now this summer. But again, I think DM and again, the main priority for Liverpool, get the DM done, then sign a number 6 or an 8, and then sign a left-sided centre half. That is what I think Liverpool will do. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Ads happen all stream. I've noticed over the last few days. It's annoying, it seems, during people's streams. Well, yeah. Again, I don't put them on. I put them on so when you click on the stream, it plays skippable ads. That's what I put on, and then it shouldn't play throughout. Hopefully, it doesn't do that. Again, because I haven't done that. But yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, again, YouTube being YouTube and messing about. Hendo and Stevie can split the cost of homeschooling for their kids as well. Yeah, that is true, absolutely. Or I shall write John W. Henry, angriest of angriest letters. My condolences shall be a legend. Vocally pissed off at the internal of the word. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Buzz. Aston Villa have confirmed the signing of Mr. Diaby this evening. Villa have been sharp in the transfer window. Yeah, absolutely. I think Diaby is going to be an amazing amazing signing for Villa. I do. I really, really do. When's Mbappe coming? Next year on a free transfer. To be fair, the Mbappe stuff is really intriguing because, like, the thing, like, so when he signed the contract to begin with, the one, was it last year or 2 years ago? Like, PSG knew that it was the last, it was the last contract they were going to get for Mbappe. He wanted Real Madrid. Everyone knew this. And then PSG act completely shocked when he turns around and goes, I want to go to Madrid. Like, you knew this was going to happen. And now they're going, okay, well, we're just going to sell him to the highest bidder. Mbappe doesn't have to agree. Like, if a Saudi club comes in and goes, right, there's £200 million upfront fee, Mbappe, we're going to give you a £600 million contract. Like, Mbappe doesn't have to turn around and agree to that. If he wants to go to Real Madrid, he can just go, no, I'm just going to, sit on the bench the entire season and then go to Madrid next year. Like that's the thing. They would literally just probably, PSG will sell him for anything right now. So if Madrid put even a 50, 60, 70 million pound bid in, who's to say PSG won't accept that? Like that's mad. Like that's really mad as well. But yeah, the Mbappe stuff is ridiculous. And again, don't want him at Liverpool in that regard anyway. But do we think Thiago leaves this window? I wouldn't want to lose him too. No, I don't think he goes now. I'd be surprised if he did go, to be fair. But a question, not my opinion. Do we really need a destroyer with the inverted system? We now play it with two in the midfield as options to Fab on his own. Obviously, the change in the system late last season. For me, I do think Liverpool need a destroyer because I think the advantage of having Fabinho is you could go into a 4-3-3 in game. Like, you can start with the inverted fullbacks, or the inverted Trent role in the start of the game, but then during the game or even at half time, you could switch to the wing backs and then just the solo DM if you wanted to. And I think that's the big one for me, where that's the thing for Fabinho, what he brought to Liverpool and the advantage he brought to Liverpool. But yeah, I think it's an interest. I think it's a two-way thing. I think if Liverpool are fully going to commit to the fullback, into the inverted fullback system, then yeah, maybe Liverpool don't need it. Maybe this is why Lavia is perfect for that position, to play alongside Trent. But I don't know. I think Liverpool do need a destroyer to. Again, if Liverpool can have a destroyer and a number 6-8 that can be, maybe a bit versatile in that regard, then again, Liverpool might do that, but I'm not sure. But I would say Liverpool need a destroyer, personally anyway. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. But yes, nothing you have done nothing you've done. Ads are happening to everyone during their live streams, so hopefully people will find a way to stop them soon. Yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, of course, but beyond content in which Alters really Mbappe coming here. Oh, come on now, yeah, Mbappe's not joining Liverpool at all, but I just think the situation is mad itself. To be fair, what would be the reason for a behind closed door friendly? Um, just game time, I think, and to get minutes in people's legs potentially. Again, I don't think Liverpool are doing that, are they, Scouse? To be fair, I know that United and Arsenal play now at 10 o'clock. I know they're playing at 10. I think Chelsea and Brighton as well are on at 11 o'clock as well. So we've got football on tonight, boys. Like, to be fair, but yeah, it will be interesting. To be fair, going into the season, who do you think will be our most consistent front three? Most rather, I would go Jota, Gakpo, Salah with Maka and Szoboszlai in behind. Give me your thoughts. For me, my front three for the start of the season would be Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, and Mo Salah. That would be my front three. I love Darwin Núñez. I love him to bits, but I don't know. I think for the system, I think Gakpo might be a bit better for the system. If again, if Szoboszlai and McAllister can be the legs potentially, maybe in the press, maybe Darwin Núñez starts up front. But I would potentially go with I'd go Gakpo, Salah, and Diaz. I would say I still think Luis Diaz is going to have a phenomenal season. I think people to forget again when people go on about the Diaz the Diaz slander now has become a thing all of a sudden now. Again, people forget Luis Diaz was Liverpool's best attacker before he got injured. Again, people go, "Oh, Mo Salah had a good year." Luis Diaz was dragging us through games. Mo Salah wasn't doing anything. Again, towards the back end of the season, Mo was doing it. But the first part of the season, Luis Diaz was on form. Napoli looked like the only player that was, attacking for Liverpool. At Arsenal before he got injured was, again assisted Darwin Núñez. Again, it's and people to forget how good Luis Diaz is, and people go, "Oh, but he doesn't score." Again, he got injured last season. Before he got injured, he was, on good terms for a poor Liverpool team. And the other thing as well, Luis Diaz when he first came in at Liverpool was playing as a wide left attacker. I think what Liverpool now are hoping that they can change him to be more of an inside forward, which takes time. I think Luis Diaz is brilliant. I really do, but maybe Linda's dealing with the clock business as well. I read Monday was as well. I don't know what that's for. Senor Núñez is what I used to call my cat Snoopy. Why are we on about cats, guys? What's going on? I wonder if Linda's is taking it from me. Come up. What a stupid time to play at 12 p.m. on a Monday. What a good idea. Not again pre-season. He was a great cat as well. Again, I don't know what on earth you lot are on about. Might just be close to the fans, but still live to watch. It will be live to watch on LFC TV. Again, if you guys would like watch-alongs, because I know a lot of people don't have LFC TV, then let me know in the comments if you'd like a watch-along. I think we did one last year and people really liked it. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts. And of course, if anyone's a Formula One fan, how good was that today as well? That was very, really good, to be fair, anyway. But we are going to move on before we do head off anyway, guys. Of course, we're going to talk about Dominik Szoboszlai. Now, of course, a lot of you guys are probably wondering, why on earth hasn't he mentioned Dominik Szoboszlai yet? Of course, now, Davo Kopp, of course, tweeted out saying exclusive, Dominik Szoboszlai picked up a minor injury in training today and may not feature against Foyth on Monday. He left training early for a scan. Injury is not believed to be serious at this time, which of course I think everyone reading it was like, Jesus Christ, what earth is going on? And yeah, I was in the same boat as well. But Dave O'Cobb also tweeted out saying that now confirmed by others, it is only a minor ankle injury, which, again, reading in between the lines, it does very much feel like it is just plain and simply, one of those injuries where it's only a couple of days, it's just a minor knock, as well, nothing to get too stressed about. Dominik Szoboszlai is fine. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Anyway, but again, obviously, everyone just panicked on social media. It was like, oh, here we go. We signed a midfielder. He's got injured. And yeah, but it does very much like, again, when people was threatening on Twitter, I was like, oh my god, he's injured, this, that, and the other. It was laughable as well. Obviously, I know a couple of people was like, oh, what's the Szoboszlai news? That's the Szoboszlai news. That again, he's got an ankle, picked up an ankle injury. Of course, it is a minor injury, of course, but again, he's completely fine by the looks of things. But again, hopefully, obviously, we'll probably hear maybe tomorrow a bit more news on it. But yeah, again, I think plain and simply, Dominik Szoboszlai is fine and ready to go anyway in that regards. But Vaz says, makes you laugh when we're a kid, still funny. Abandon it or peril? I don't know what on earth Vaz is on there. But Jota, after our first preseason game, has to be considered as first one of our front starting three along of Salah and Gakpo. But I don't disagree with you about Diaz, Connor, as well as Phil as well. Again, it's hard though, isn't it? But it's also it's good the fact that Liverpool have quality in every position. Again, when you choose Darwin Núñez, Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah, Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, again, there's quality in every single player, and that's what Liverpool have been so good at. Is the fact that, again, it's again, when you do look at it, it's like Liverpool are missing, say, Jota, then Luis Diaz can back it up, or Gakpo is missing, Darwin Núñez can do it, and that. And again, Liverpool have been the best out of anyone at doing that over the last couple of seasons in terms of attack. Anyway, but could be a knock to an ankle, but this is Liverpool. Our injury record is hilarious as well. I think somebody put it as well, especially when you're doing 3 training sessions a day, you do expect something to be, happening in that regard anyway. But do you think we need a goalkeeper, especially if Kelleher goes to Wolves? I don't think Kelleher goes to Wolves personally. Yeah, I think Liverpool won't sell. Again, Liverpool would look for 25 million. I don't think Wolves do that personally anyway. But if he does go, then yeah, I think Liverpool will look for a goalkeeper. See Saudi have offered Lissandro Martinez 240 million over 3 years. Jesus Christ, that's yeah, that's a mad one. To be fair, what else we have? Probs just bruise. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, it's a kind of a wake up to realise that our midfield needs numbers. Just in case someone gets injured, really hope we are over that period though. Yeah, look again, guys. I wouldn't get too worried about the Dominik Szoboszlai stuff. Again, I do think it is just one of those. I do think it's probably, as you say, but Mac, it is very much. It's probably just a bruise, and look, Liverpool, like Allison was didn't play the first game of preseason because of precaution reasons. I think it'd probably be exactly the same. I don't think there's anything to be massively worried about. Again, as long as Dominik Szoboszlai is fit and ready for the first game of the season, then again, I think all of us are good in that regard. But relieved to hear about Szoboszlai. We can't do another Diaz in training as well. Yeah, true on that. Warriors in saying, yo, long time no see. How you doing, mate? I'm doing well. Thank you, mate. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Not sure we have a good cover at left back. Kostas Tsimikas. Robbo, is that enough? To be fair, again, we need a left-sided centre off, to be fair, as well. But there was a player called Lopez. Was there? To be fair, again, I can't remember that. But Gerrard be made up with Henderson having someone who can speak to probably be his captain. Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. As well. Carl saying need a good left back that pushes Andy for his position. True, I would agree with that. To be fair, anyway, but guys, we are going to leave it there for tonight. Anyway, let me just quickly run through all of the news. Of course, obviously, if you guys have not seen yet, of course, the news concerning Jordan Henderson. Of course, obviously, he will officially be a Saudi player. Probably earliest Monday. Of course, obviously James PS3 now. Jordan Henderson underwent his medical in Manchester yesterday. £12 million deal now close to completion. Fabrizio Romano as well, also tweeting out saying, of course, Jordan Henderson has completed the first part of his medical test as new Al-Ettifaq player on Friday. Second part wasn't today, but very soon. Deal to be signed next week for 12 million plus add-ons fee to Liverpool. 3-year contract agreed 2 weeks ago. Here we go, confirmed. Of course, that is from Fabrizio Romano. Of course, we've spoken about Jurgen Klopp and his, of course, press conference. Again, I'd fully recommend you go and check that on Liverpool's official YouTube channel. Of course, speaking on new transfers as well, saying Klopp on new signings. We're around 3 to 4 weeks until the first game of obviously two things, of course, to happen. Until then, definitely it will happen. We'll have a good team. Trust us. We'll do our best to have a good season. We will never forget. And of course, we've discussed Dominik Szoboszlai. Of course, obviously the injury news coming out, saying, of course, Dominik Szoboszlai picked up a minor injury in training today and may not feature against Firth. And of course, it's just been confirmed to be just a slight minor injury, of course, which of course is fantastic news in that regard. Of course, nothing to worry about in terms of Dominik Szoboszlai anyway. But again, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments on everything that we've talked about in tonight's video. Of course, if you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. I'm going to quickly have a look before we do head off on how many likes we're on. What are we on? We are on 15, guys. We can get to 20. I very much appreciate it. Again, it says 27's in right now. So again, if you could hit that like button before you do head out, guys, very much appreciate it as always. Anyway, but of course, let me quickly read the chat before we do head off. Anyway, and saying Scouts at 0 chance as well. What's that? Oh, and saying Saudi want Mbappe and can definitely to Saudi host World Cup. Again, yeah, absolutely. Obviously, good stream. Thank you very much, Cal. Gift from the gods. Obviously, Mac as well saying, of course, Pink Wave as well. Thank you very much for being in, Mac, as well. The money we are saving on wages is massive, so no excuse getting players in. Absolutely, Cal, 1000% on that. For God's sake, Buzz. And Trap saying Dom is injured. I'm fuming, of course. Obviously, Trap. Just rewind probably 2 minutes ago. We were talking about, of course, Dominik Szoboszlai. Of course, he's only got a minor knock. Nothing to threaten about. Of course, probably be out of training for a couple of days, and then we'll be straight back on it. Then fingers crossed, and hopefully anyway. But guys, have a fantastic rest of your Saturday evening. Of course, if we're not live tomorrow, we will be live tomorrow. Of course, we'll probably do match preview for the pre-season games. Of course, that's on Monday. As well as, of course, we'll be live tomorrow for that, of course. So make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you hit that like button as well, guys. So yeah, hopefully have a fantastic rest of your Saturday anyway. I've been Connor from the Cup Council. See you all later on. Ta-ra.